AI. A couple quick housekeeping things. If you've got a seat next to you, you raise your hand. There's some people in the back. I want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to get a seat if you want one. Perfect. Also, if you've been to any sessions the last few days at these stages, you probably recognize there's a lot of feedback. And the panelists and the presenters also have to talk really loudly so you can hear us. So lean in. I realize the sound may be a little bit off once in a while, but we're going to just keep trucking with you. We're going to make an amazing session today. Now, before we're getting too far into this, I want to give you some disclaimers. Take a picture. And definitely going to pay attention to that one. And that. This is a new one. An important one. We all good? Perfect. Awesome. Well, I'm not Templeton. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I also have a team in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm a rainmaker, KDB instructor. Used to be a team leader. And this is my friend Travis Fox.
I'm Travis Fox. I'm a CEO of a team in Louisville, Kentucky. I work with labs as a labs manager, and I am a self-proclaimed AI nut.
And before we get started, one of the challenges we're going to have in this session is that some of you are like Travis. You're probably an AI nut. And some of you may be here saying, I have no idea what AI is. Tell me where to start. So I'm just curious, if you are a self-proclaimed AI nut, or on the advanced side, would you raise your hand? Okay, about 15-20% of them. If you're in the intermediate stage and you say, you know, I play with AI, I might get into it pretty regularly, I don't really know that much about it, raise your hand. Okay, maybe 30%. If you're brand new, or fairly new, we'd say, I need the basics, the fundamental first steps, raise your hand. Okay, good chunk of the room. So understand today that we're going to touch on the basics, the first steps, the fundamental understandings. We're going to touch on some of the things you can do to upgrade what you've already been doing. And we're going to try our best to give you a few things that might melt your face off. Travis, what do you say?
Before we melt your face off, let's talk about a couple of things we use today. So obviously we have listing descriptions, we have ad copy. And by the way, if you went to a few of the panels, you saw that Command now has ad copy in the dashboard. So you can write Google copy and Facebook copy in the actual paid ads experience, which is awesome. So as you run through this list, you'll see upload MLS and export data to write comparable market analysis. And Matt will talk about that a little bit later as well. But one of my favorite things on this list is buyer personas, seller personas. And to kick this off, I have a story that I tell every time that I do one of these talks, and it's that I created what I call Wife GPT. Yeah. And my wife and I never fight, never really argue, but at the same time, there's buzzwords and phrases that come up where a discussion happens, correct? And what I did was, I told ChatGPT, hey, I want my wife to feel heard, and I want me to feel heard when these buzzwords pop up. How do we both win? And what can I say instead of what I normally say? And the results were, admittedly, I didn't like it. But I'll try it, because I was fully into the experiment at this point. So the first one that popped up, I patiently waited. My wife and I had a little dialogue back and forth, and I said what I needed to say. She goes, who are you? And I told her I was an AI chatbot, but at the same time, it was incredible how she felt, how I felt. It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And that was the start of how do I straight practice with ChatGPT? How do I get into the mind of my seller, the mind of my buyer? And that's what I love most about what I do is I want to make sure that I'm on the front edge of every conversation that I have with a prospective buyer, seller, another agent, an opportunity. AI can help you do that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think one of the other things I always love to tell people when we're talking about AI is that we often think of AI either as a mind that's doing some sort of calculation or thinking, or we think of AI like automation. And today we're going to spend a lot of time talking about it from the thinking perspective, like ChatGPT. We also think of it from a language learning model, and we're using it to generate language. We're using it to generate thoughts. We're using it to generate words. But there's other things that we're going to just touch on briefly when we get into your needs that are also AI. So AI is such a broad thought that language learning is an important piece that I want to make sure to touch on.
Awesome. Speaking of need, it's actually our first step, by the way. The need determines your tool. If you're just aimlessly getting into ChatGPT and asking questions, we're doing it wrong. So 1,000% think about this. I'll say it again. Is the need determines your tool. Matt, what
not as much feedback out there. Yeah, but they can hear it much better than we do. This right here, yeah. I think the biggest thing for us is just distracting with our own thoughts, right? Because it's hearing that back there.
ChatGPT, right? Then you probably use ChatGPT, which is a language learning model that's generating text, it's generating copy, it's doing ideas, it's doing research. So if you're doing something that's word-based, we're probably going to use something like ChatGPT. But if you're doing something image-based, you might be using ChatGPT's friend, DALL-E, or Midjourney. Or maybe you're going to do some image manipulation, and you want to model or use something like Meta, who's doing a lot of virtual staging and image manipulation. Or maybe you're trying to do audio and video editing, and you might pull a tool like Descript, or you might use a tool like Runway ML. So there's a number of different tools for different needs. One of my favorite ones is actually for research. There's a great tool called Perplexity. And Perplexity will search the internet, come back with information similar to GPT, except it will give you sources. It will tell you where the information came from. So there's lots of different needs, there's lots of different tools for that.
Awesome. There's even different needs inside of the text too, right? Not so Claude.ai, CLAUDE.ai, is anything more accurate and more correct, right? So if you want those brainstorming ideas, ChatGPT and OpenAI.com is where you want to go. But if you want to be more directionally accurate and not be creative, something like Claude might work for you as well. So the next thing to do is to generate your prompts. And I think that's where a lot of us mess up with AI. We're asking it the wrong questions, and we're not putting enough detail into what we're asking it. So we'll touch on what that looks like. And then step 3 is review and improve. I'll tell you, if you are copying and pasting from your OpenAI model, we're doing it wrong. How many times have you opened up Facebook and saw a post and said, wow, that was definitely AI. That was not them. Raise your hand. Everyone. Yeah. They use the word like Dell, right? I've never used that word in my life, that's how I saw it. So review and improve is an important step. We'll touch on more what that looks like. But realize you can also use AI to review and improve itself. We'll touch on that.
I think review and improve also, when we think about this, when you think about it as, this is like our second brain. This is a tool that's allowing us to think, but it's not the final product. So review and improve is also about us not expecting it to be the full product. It's about us giving us thinking and tools to be able to modify and use for ourselves.
So in true KW fashion, we have a model for you to prompt. All 4 steps are super important. We'll start with define target audience. So once you determine your need, you know which tool you're going to use. Next, we'll define your target audience. And what you can't do here is, you can't be too specific, right? We have to figure out what our audience looks like. At the same time, it can be things like, my real estate clients, is that good enough? No. It should be things like, this neighborhood, right? These people live in this neighborhood, or my seller who is a high D, high I, I'm going to win this listing appointment. That is the target audience. Or is it first-time home buyers in a certain zip code? Whatever it is, define the target audience. And the next is set tone and style. Matt, why do you think this is important?
Well, I think if you've ever run anything through GPT or one of the language learning models, you've gotten text out of it and you think, gosh, this isn't what I'm trying to say, or it sounds like a third person wrote this, or it sounds like something that a 6th grader wrote, or it sounds like something that a research writer wrote. That's not the style or the voice that I want my marketing to sound like, and that's not the type of blog post or newsletter I'm trying to create. So you need to prompt and tell the language learning model, what do you want it to sound like? How do you want it to come across? What do you want the results to be?
This is where you separate yourselves from everyone else using AI. Because you're going to have your own total style. And here's the thing about AI. With lack of instruction, it creates. So if you don't tell it, guess what it's going to do? It's going to pick one for you based on what it does. So realize this is the exact moment where you kind of separate yourself from everyone else using it. So number 3 is proper formatting. And this is important because if we think about, hey, I want to run a newsletter. Can I tell AI how long I want it to be? Is it 2 pages? Is it a paragraph? Is it 2 sentences? Tell me exactly what you want. In fact, this is where a lot of people get frustrated on that. Because they just tell what they want. They put it out there, they're like,
It's developing so fast and showing up everywhere.
Well, and you're not. It's going to already know your style.
Yeah.
Number 4 is establish the desired outcome and goal.
Understand that before it does.
This is probably my favorite step. Because when you tell ChatGPT or any other tool what your desired outcome and goal is, it's going to tailor its responses to ensure that you hit that goal. It's thinking to hit that goal now versus, well, I don't know why I want this, so I'm just going to make it what I have. And the cool thing about this one, Matt, is once we get the desired outcome and goal, and we have our output, now we can ask it on the review and improve side, and we can say, hey, I really want to make sure I hit my goal. Can you review and improve this to make sure the ultimate goal of blank is achieved? And that's that extra step that you can use with AI to really separate.
Well, just a second, I'm going to show you some prompt examples and talk through what that looks like. But if you think about the idea of using proper formatting and doing improving, think about the conversation. You ask the question, maybe the prompt wasn't specific. Maybe you didn't get it right. Ask it a quality question. Ask it to get deeper. Ask it to rewrite it in a certain way. When you think of this as a conversation, you can get to the point where it actually gets what you want. You may have to ask it several times.
Matt, have you ever asked it not to lie to you?
If not, tell me what happens.
When you ask it not to lie to you, guess what we'll try not to? We'll try not to lie to you. Especially if you pay for the ChatGPT Plus subscription. If you ask it not to lie to you and it doesn't have the answer, it's going to go search stuff behind it. So it's interesting, even those small little questions, which brings me to my next point of talking to it as a door in the room. How often do we go to ChatGPT and say, write this, do that? Do we talk to our co-workers, assistants?
I do a lot of coding with it.
Yeah.
I get a lot of. It'll.
So I encourage you to speak
You know,
to it.
give warning.
You'd be surprised. There's no sign.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion.
Sometimes it's a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum,
So
especially 3.5.
I try to avoid that unless it's like, I need simple formatting. Take all this and do something. Spit like
it
super
doesn't
simple.
know.
Right.
Instructions, right?
Or is my partner, or is my task mess.
Strengths.
His task.
Yeah, gotcha.
Or
This is
I
an
can
example of a
iterate.
weak prompt. Doesn't have any of our steps. Our target audience is not in this. Our tone and style is not here. Our proper formatting is not here. Our desired outcome and goal is not here. This probably looks like a lot of the prompts that you guys are writing out. It looked like mine. I'm not gonna lie.
Give me a cold email.
It's exactly what
When
I
I
did.
saw it do that,
And
I was like,
gold
gold. Original 3.
So here's
What
the
was
issue.
it? What kind of email?
I was like, write me a cold email.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Wow.
the level of detail
Yep.
you need to have
Back when I first came
when
out.
you're working with
But
AI
now,
to
wait a
get
minute.
responses.
First off, that's better than
I'm not going
mine.
to bore you with this entire
Suck
thing.
it, you know.
And if you look at this and you say, this is too much, I'm not doing this every time I want to ask AI.
So I don't know. I have, inside of my AI
I'm going to go through
company,
the questions and ask it
Google's
during the
response.
impression, right?
fully
You're gonna
integrated
ask it, well,
Gemini
what did he say?
Yeah.
into everything.
Well,
I
you
don't know if
didn't
you tried that.
Well,
I haven't yet.
It's pretty good.
I saw Windows just released theirs too. Yeah.
Yeah. But it'll look at the context of the email
Your output is so
and
much
say, I
stronger.
want to reply this way, and it'll fill the email out.
That's awesome.
Which you could do before, but didn't prompt it. That automatically has it.
That's awesome.
Something inside of your
Yeah, even if I think I've written something well, I still run it in there.
You're ready to upgrade to the next level. The upgrade is ChatGPT Plus. Some of the recommendations we're going to give you today are that you can only do it Plus. For free. One of the things you can do, which is really cool with Plus, is put in custom instructions. So once you've already got the account and you paid for Plus, you can tell it things you want it to do every single time, like Travis says, don't lie to me. You could also give it a tone that you always want it to write. You could always tell it to ignore the fluff or cut out the self-explanation. So some of this could be cut down by having in your custom instructions with your Plus.
Matt, talk to me about conversations. So, what I would have to at least is, I always use the same conversation on OpenAI. So when I use the same conversation, there's good reasons and bad reasons for it. But also, talk to me about how you can name them different and then actually have the chat learn what you're doing in each one of those chats.
So obviously ChatGPT is one of the most popular, if not the most popular. Maybe you currently use ChatGPT. Great, okay, good. So you have to go right into that. When you get into ChatGPT, one of the mistakes I see people make is that they'll start a conversation, which is the AI interactive back and forth, and they'll keep asking different prompts or different questions in the same conversation. It's not exactly ideal. Because the reason is, once you give it specific instructions or specific requests, it's going to remember those things as you get farther down the conversation. And it may not exactly give you the best outcome for the new request. So for each individual thing, I would recommend getting in a separate conversation or a separate set of requests. So here's an example for doing marketing for a listing. I'm going to start a request on the left-hand side of ChatGPT, and I'm going to give it all the data from my listing appointment. Here's all my notes, the features. Here's the previous and the last. Here's all the information that I learned from the seller. Here's the things I care about. I'm going to describe a little bit about the neighborhood. I'm going to tell it why I want this, what we're trying to do, what we're planning on the market, all the information I have, all in a single prompt. Then from that conversation, I'm going to generate a listing description. I'm going to generate ad copy for my Facebook or Google ad. I'm going to generate a buyer persona. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, who's the ideal buyer for this property? How would they want to be spoken to? What features would they care about? And I'm going to have a conversation with it so that I can better identify how I can market that property. And all those conversations and all those specific outputs can happen in the same conversation on GPT. But when I'm going to do something different, when I just start researching ways to clean my home quickly, I'm probably not going to ask GPT that best ways conversation inside my listing description output. So think about using separate conversations for separate targets.
So you're saying I can't ask for a roulette strategy and a description in the same chat?
Ideally, not.
Awesome. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is review and improving it. And the script's not up here, the prompt's not up here, but one thing I would like you to do is think about this is when you have your output, when you give it your target audience, your total style, your proper formatting, and your goal, what I want you to do is ask it, get into the mind of the target audience, act as my target audience, review and improve this, and give me feedback based on what their feelings might be on the output. And what that does is, again, it's just like that persona we talked about, I can get in the mind of my client again. It's not perfect, of course, but we're getting some real-time feedback from AI based on our target audience. And then, again, don't just copy and paste. Take what your output is, proofread it, change a couple sentences, change a word or two. And I had someone ask me this yesterday, so I'm going to touch on this. Someone said, when I get my output, even after I review and approve it, I put it into an AI write this detector, and it says AI wrote it. Keep in mind, a lot of those detectors are going to tell you what it is. It's like paying for a home inspector, or paying to find something, or going to find something in the home, right? You're going to an AI detector website. Sometimes you're going to get some wrong answers. So don't overthink it. Just rewrite it, reframe it, change the way it looks, and make it yours. But I promise you, because you go through the model and you gave it every instruction that you can, every little detail that you can, it's not going to come out looking like everyone else's output because you gave it so much instruction. So realize that. Any thoughts, Mike? And don't reinvent the wheel. AI is designed, in my opinion, to enhance your own superpower. It's not here to replace you. It's not here to replace everything that you're doing. While you might have a different opinion on that in a minute. That's good. But AI is here to enhance your superpower. So don't reinvent the wheel. Take what you're doing good already and figure out how to enhance it with AI. So if you're great at newsletters, but you want to get better at it, awesome. You got it. If you're great at crafting conversations, you want to get better at it. Or if you want to script practice, do it. Create personas. And lastly, if you want to analyze data, which is one of my favorites, can I give you a quick story now? So I spent a lot of money on my team, marketing, as I'm probably sure some of you have as well. You all own teams. How many times have you spent money and not realize it's not worth it until the last second, or until it never works? Right? Awesome. So take your transactional data, you have it in CTV, CSU, or any of the number of transactional apps. Export that data, upload it to ChatGPT. You can do that with the ChatGPT 4 Plus, right? Upload your PDF or your Excel files, and ask it to find trends and patterns in your ROI. So I went through and I did this. I found out the exact zip code that I should be geoformatting, and the exact sources that I should be using in those zip codes. Now I'm getting a sense of the dollars I made in the last 10 years. That data would have taken me months, maybe years to figure out the patterns, and GPT could in as little as 2 minutes. So we made decisions based on ROI, area, the whole 9 yards in our teams to help improve it. And that's the kind of things with analyzing data that you can do, aside from the MLS, to enhance your team's performance today. So if you're spending all that money on one of these lead aggregators, and you have no clue if it's whether or not,
Yeah, I don't know.
this is your answer, right?
Just making sure that the questions.
So for me too, I want to reiterate kind of what Travis said too. AI is not about just replacing, although it is about replacing the monopolies things that you do, so that you can have more time back, so that you can do more.
He said in a minute.
That's a really cool thing to take place. Easily I can take place is AI going to tell my job. How do I harness this so that I can become more human and spend more time in conversation, more time with my family, more time with my clients? Now, when we bring up our panelists, one of the things that I asked the panelists before doing this, what their intention was for the day, and I think what's really beautiful is you're going to get some amazing tactics. You're going to get some really specific examples. You're going to get some really good ideas that I want to write down. But I think even more than just the tactics and the ideas we write down, I want you to know that these panelists really care about things. And they're out here because they want to see you embrace technology in a way that allows you to be more human.
I don't know if I'm just going to sit back here. You have to get closer up.
Yeah. You can casually go up there and just kind of pull the chairs
All right,
up.
so get your face melted off with our panels. Bobby Moats, Brett Bishop, and Jannel Gonzalez.
We going in that order?
Let's get these up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What are you going to introduce yourselves? Tell us where you're from and what kind of
My name is Bobby Moats. I am an agent in Austin, Texas. I have a real estate team called Realty, Texas. That's across 10 market centers, 38 agents in the state of Texas. What was the other question? Why am I up here? So, over the last few years, we've had a conversation in this company about how do we build the tech-enabled agent, right? And AI is not only helping us to achieve that, but it's going to transform it completely into how do we build an AI-enabled agent? How do we enable agents with AI to be the best agents we possibly can be? And I am passionate about all of you guys, passionate about this organization and how we can ultimately change the way that real estate is done and amplify the world.
Hi there. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Brett Bishop. I am an agent, I'm a technology trainer, and an AIpreneur. I am absolutely passionate about AI, like Bobby said, in the way that it can help all of you as agents. This is my 21st year in real estate, 14 years with Keller Williams, and hopefully you're gonna get some value. I know you'll get some value out of this. The hopefully part is go do something with it, right? That's the big thing.
Hi, I'm Jannel Gonzalez, but everybody calls me Jannel Gonzalez. I have been in tech since I was about 2 years old, and so it's about 20 years now in tech, and I am a huge nerd. So for fun, I do AI research, and that's been so I am always constantly on top of the AI trends, and it really inspires me, and I hope I can bring you just better info today. Oh, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas, a market center called San Antonio City View, and we have about 1,000 agents, and I've been the MCTT for about 8 years.
So why don't you kick us off? How are you currently using AI in your business?
I use it in a lot of different ways. For one, I do use it as a second brain. I use it to bounce off ideas, mastermind with it. I also use it to create web pages. There's a site called Gamma that will create a website, and you can actually blend that into your command site. I use it to create emails. You can say, and that was a beautiful description. You could also say, can you write me an email from a real estate agent? So it caters in and knows exactly how to include your real estate in that email. And also create classes, itineraries, topics, content for social media, all kinds of things. Yeah. Thank you.
So my one thing for 2024 is video and using video with social media to build my training brand. And I am leveraging AI to make that process much more simplified and streamlined. Hey, we have anybody that likes to do video in here? Now, how many of you like to edit those videos? There's one sick, twisted individual in the back that I saw the hand was still up. So I'm not a big fan of editing videos. And then the other thing is we've got awesome tools out there that can help you repurpose your long form content and break it all down for you with the captions and all that so that you can really get one video out across all your social media, and it's fantastic.
Come back to the deep questions on that.
Okay.
Right now, I use it for pretty much everything. I am horrendous at writing content or emails. My wife has to edit my emails, or Pat used to have to edit my emails, right? Because they would just be bad. I would send them and I would get in trouble.
So Shady's talking to me, not you?
Yes. And something that ChatGPT ultimately has done for me, which, by the way, for the plus subscription, the cheapest assistant that you could possibly get, it writes every single way. I write the email, I put it in, and say, this is what I'm trying to say, make it less angry, or whatever I'm trying to do. And it will fix it, and it will make it better. And it will be in my voice because I've already prompted it with what my voice sounds like. So I use it on a daily basis, not only to do that and write content, write emails, but also to solve problems, right? I'm prolific at Google. I can go on Google and solve problems, read spreadsheets to solve problems. Like Travis was talking about for the data and analytics, or to solve a problem around something I have no idea about. Like I need an opinion on some specific news article or whatever. I just go to ChatGPT and say, hey, help me to solve this problem. Here's what it is, copy, paste, do all the things, and it will give me the answer much quicker than I could have found that on my own. And so I think problem solving and content creation and writing for me at least.
This may be similar to the question, but here's like, can you give us a specific example of how it saves you time? Like, probably you say this will be other than this, but should be ways that we specifically save time?
Yeah, so I agree wholeheartedly with Bobby. $20 a month for ChatGPT is the most sound investment you will ever make for leverage in your real estate career, bar none. So whether it's writing property descriptions, blog posts, our new websites, the new version of the websites has amazing SEO-rich features that if you utilize that blog post, it does wonders for you. And then, like I mentioned before, repurposing video content, and there's AI tools out there that I'm sure we'll get to, and I can hit like a couple of buttons and it repurposes a long form into 20 short form versions.
So what are some other ways you're saving time?
So there is actually in Command and Marketplace, there's something called Productive AI, and it will actually take the notes from your phone calls and it will put it into Command. So that's a huge one. There's also extensions of ChatGPT that are really helpful as well. There's a Canva extension. You can ask it to do exactly what you want it to do, and it will create it for you, and then it gives you the template so you can go edit it. There's actually, you can script practice with ChatGPT, so that's amazing too. You can actually ask it to an audience. For example, you can say, what are some things that baby boomers are struggling right now to sell their house? You can ask it what are millennials struggling with buying a house as well? So you can direct it in any way. Basically, when you get stuck on something and you need that person to pull you out, that's where ChatGPT comes in. So really helpful.
And you mentioned, I have to bring this up because it's in Command. You mentioned Productive.ai. Where's that now?
If you just go right into Command, you go to the top right, and there's a little thing that looks like a little store, and it's called Marketplace. You click on there, and then it's right on the main page right now, but you can just search AI and it'll come right in.
And this actually imports the call notes into Command, right?
Yes. What you do, you sign up on there, and they actually send you an email to download the app, and then you create it and you go on there.
Thank you.
I'm a closet coder. I like to solve problems with Python code. I don't know what that is. It's coding. And it used to take me weeks and weeks and weeks to create a solution for my organization, for my team, because that's how I like to solve problems through coding. Well, my coding assistant is ChatGPT right now, and help me create programs and platforms for my organization to help my agents be more productive in their daily lives.
And like, how many of you that ChatGPT can write code? How many of you actually use ChatGPT to write code? Okay, so break it down a little bit more for us. Like, how would somebody who's never coded before, what would they say to ChatGPT to maybe use it? And where would be the use cases might matter?
Simple use case. How many of you use Google spreadsheets or Excel spreadsheets? A lot of you. I don't know if you knew, but you can actually go to the back end of Excel or Google Sheets to help you do more things with that spreadsheet. If you don't know where to start, you just ask ChatGPT, hey, I want to do X. I want to learn this. I think one of the biggest benefits that I've had from utilizing ChatGPT is its ability to teach me how to do something I did not know how to do previously. If you want to learn in an interactive way while you're doing with ChatGPT, and it's so powerful in helping you do that.
And Bobby, this is where talking to it as if it were in the room comes into play, right? This is where talking to it as if you were in the room with it comes into play.
Yeah.
If not, we're just getting some static answers back, right? Now we're having conversations, and now it's teaching us.
I'm also really careful with ChatGPT. When we talk about code, it could be 5 or 6 lines that just match these programs together. You see words like API or ways that software can talk to each other. And one of the automation tools that's really popular, you may be aware, is Zapier. And Zapier is going all in on connecting AI. And Zapier, if you're really getting into the advanced connections, they often need you to think in terms of webhooks and code and Python. And so you can use ChatGPT to help you write the thing you need to answer the question you need for the Zapier integration. The other thing I want you to know about Zapier, I hope you wrote that down if you're not currently using it, and if you are, you can go explore the AI as we expect. Before I tell you about that, how are you using Zapier also connect to AI at all?
I mean, Zapier has direct connections into ChatGPT right now, so you can actually, you can do a lot of very complicated things with it. You can make it respond to leads that come into whatever platform that you're using, via Zapier to connect to ChatGPT or write text message responses back, etc. So there's a tremendous amount of ways that you can do that. And if you don't know where to start, ask it, hey, what's a really good way for me to use OpenAI with Zapier to create something that's going to help me in my real estate business? And it will give you examples of how to do it. And then if you get to Zapier and you still don't know where to start, you can pull up the screen, screenshot it, put it into OpenAI or into ChatGPT, and say, okay, what do I do now? And it will tell you. And see, it has eyes. You can see the picture. It can help you.
Yes, so my business partner, Peter Hopkins, who's another MCTT in Florida, we're developing a video avatar chatbot, and it's like 7 pieces of AI tech, right? And Zapier is the link that pulls it all together and makes it happen. It's that simple.
So basically, if you don't know what Zapier is, it makes pretty much a software for you. So you can just automate anything and everything. And so they have a little AI box inside Zapier. So you can say, I want this program to work with this program, and I want it to do this and this. And it will get as close as it can to create that for you. Also, I just wanted to touch on one thing because Bobby mentioned Google. If you go to labs.google.com, it will allow you to sign up for AI with your Google Suite that you get with Canopy. So you can actually have it write Google Docs for you, built right in. You can have it create images on your Google Slides. It will actually also work with Sheets as well. I just used it yesterday to break down a data scraping of a database for me, and it moved it all because the formula itself was not working. However, when I did that, it actually fixed it all for me.
And some of the use cases with Zapier are really high level, right? So to give you like a low-level example of how you can use it with Zapier to get started, have it respond to your Google reviews. So go to Zapier, start the connection with, I got a Google review. Then that's OpenAI. You can copy the review. You tell OpenAI to respond in a way that is happy, friendly, and is only 2 seconds long. Thank them, mention something in the review to bring it back, and then reply. So that's a very low level, very easy thing that you can do to get into it. And as you do that, you'll start to learn more, right?
Yeah.
One big thing I want to point out, Bobby mentioned uploading a screenshot in ChatGPT and asking questions. In the plus version, there's in GPT-4, there's a little plus button that allows you to upload documents. You can upload CSVs, you can upload images, you can upload all sorts of documents, and then you can ask him questions based on that. So we can read and transcribe information, we can read and transcribe images, container CSVs. So when you talk about giving it information and asking it questions and getting it to format or change that information, we're talking about plus and using that plus button.
And an example of that, a really practical example is, I don't know how about y'all, I'm horrible at taking notes. I jot all over everything. Like, this is amazing what he's done compared to what I write all over the back of everything, all over the place. It's all disconnected. All I know here, know here, know here. You can go into ChatGPT, take pictures of all your notes, and please organize these and transcribe them. And it will organize and transcribe for you so that you can put into wherever you want to store them, or be able to actually draw some conclusions out of it, or give you the action items from these notes that I need to remember. That's one of the most powerful ways that I use those.
Okay, guys, what are some of the challenges you experienced with using these AI tools?
Okay. I think at first, one of the challenges was talking to it and just knowing what to say. There's a bunch of guides and a bunch of ways that will tell you exactly how to prompt it. However, now it is getting so smart to where it actually understands a lot of you. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't stop being as detailed as you want. So that's pretty much the only challenge that I've seen. Now I can talk to it and it will help me figure out what I'm trying to say to it. So it's really, really helpful in that manner as well.
So when we get the prompt examples, to honestly be the stream of consciousness, just typing ideas into that, and then it can figure out from your stream of consciousness what you're trying to do. What are the challenges?
So, yeah, no, that's okay.
So if you're ever going to write something for a website, a blog, or anything, I encourage you to use the word or the acronym SEO. So to say something that is SEO optimized, and that way you can populate on Google.
So, I imagine there's a lot of people that have experienced this one that I'm going to talk about, right? How many of you are using the graphic creation DALL-E 3 plugin, right? And how many of you are getting proper spelling in those images? Never, right? And you can get some better output as you continue to have that conversation and say, no, this has been spelled wrong. Can you fix that? Da da da. But I think my biggest frustration with that is every time you get another image, it's not identical to the one with the corrections. It's a whole new image, right? So that's been my biggest frustration.
I would say my biggest is, a lot of you, when you go into here, you think this is some all-powerful AI that just knows everything, it's going to remember everything. You gotta understand, this is the very beginning of this technology, and it's a very short-term memory. It is very short-term memory, so we'll begin to forget what you told it as you move through that thread, move through that conversation. I think that's one of the most annoying things that we have run into recently. Now, that's going to go away, but that is also probably one of the most annoying things. So we'll remember things after a certain amount of text.
Yeah.
What are some of the unexpected benefits or insights that you got? What are some of the things that you didn't expect? You didn't prompt it for this specific thing, and all of a sudden, one of the outputs or one of the ideas or something that came from this was even better than you expected? Unexpected insights for ideas.
Unexpected. I've had some unexpected moments, but it wasn't ideas. For example, this is a weird one. I was testing out the image capabilities when it first came out. I took a picture. I was sitting in front of a fantasy football draft board. Okay, in front of it just came out. I'm like, what is this going to do?
I'm loving this already.
Yeah. And I took a picture of the draft board that was done. And I was the best team because I won. Utilizing AI, so good. And I said, what are the red names? What are the red names? That's all I said. And the AI took that picture and looked at everything on that picture, looked at the names, didn't say fantasy football anywhere, it was just names and like a grid. And it's all red names. He said, well, this looks like a fantasy football draft board because these people are football players. And the people in red most likely are probably your keepers, which is people that you hold from year to year on and year out. Infer, based on an image with no context, what those red names were, which blew my mind. That you can have AI take a picture and infer a conclusion based on how that picture is structured. That was pretty cool.
So this is very similar to Travis's wife, GPT. And I think it's what will actually help a lot of you really start to get engaged with ChatGPT or AI tools like that, is if you start to use it for the benefits of your regular life and not just real estate. It's great for real estate, but you can use it for everything. My one and only child is at that age where I have to have a particular conversation with him. And I asked ChatGPT to help me figure out what that looks like.
I think we need better this Homer slide up here.
Yeah, probably.
Did you say go to your wife?
Yeah. We need Zapier to connect our two GPTs.
For me, it's just how much AI is involved in the tools that we already use. So around, I think, June of 2023, I taught a class with Marty. Marty was doing a series, and it was AI the Tiger. And I had brought in all of these tools and options for people to use. Well, the next week, it was already outdated. So I was about to go in and get a whole new set of tools instead of use the ones that I wanted to use. So a lot of us use CapCut, right? So make great videos. Did you know that there's AI built into that? There's a whole bunch of AI tools in there, image creators, and all kinds of things. Teleprompter in there that you can use for that. And just in everyday things like my phone, just one day just popped up with AI writing text messages. So I think it's important to make sure the tools that you are already using might not have AI built in because that's time is taken.
Well, and most of you in the audience have been using AI for years and years and years already, and probably didn't even realize it. So, you know, you got your Google, Google Home, and you've got Alexa and all that stuff. You've been using it every time you go to Netflix, and your selections are there for you, like it's curated content. You've been using it all along, and the robots haven't taken over yet. So we're safe.
Yeah.
Get into it.
Jannel, you mentioned your phone. Do you have the ChatGPT app on your phone?
I do have ChatGPT, but I also have a Google Pixel. I know, I'm not an iPhone person. I already know that. But I have a Google Pixel, and it will now do that kind of stuff.
So just a heads up, the OpenAI app on your phone is powered by OpenAI. There's tons of GPT apps on your app store. If they're green and white, it's the wrong one. You need to get the one that's white and black, and it says developed by OpenAI. If you get a different one, you're going to have to pay for it, and it's not the real one. So be very careful with that.
Can I mention something about the app real quick? So the awesome functionality of the app, and it was mentioned earlier that you can do script or dialogue practice with it, right? You can do your dialogue practice with it. There's actually a voice feature on it that you talk to the phone and the phone talks back. You don't have to use text anymore. You can actually have those conversations. So I know, I've been to Bold like 4 times, and probably 3 out of those 4 times, I had difficulty getting my accountability partner to have those conversations with me. Now I'm just gonna grab the phone.
So we've been on tons of use cases or specific examples of how they use these tools. What are some other specific examples of ways that you could use it or you are using it that we have not touched on so far?
Okay, so everyone who's a part of our National Association of Realtors, there's actually something called RPR. Maybe some of y'all know about it. So if you actually go search a neighborhood, a zip code, a city, you can click on create script, and it will make you something to say for a video. It will tell you exactly how to create that video. You can copy that and put it right into CapCut. It will also write you pretty much a blog for social and also for social media. So there's 3 options. You can say I want to do it professional, I think creative, and I can't remember the other one. And you can target it towards buyers or sellers. So that's a huge tool that my office is loving, and I think it's very beneficial.
Yeah, those AI tools are built into Canva as well. They've been there for quite a while. So Canva will actually create a video for you. If you're having trouble figuring out a listing presentation as a new agent and what that looks like, you can use ChatGPT to get the bullet points, and then through the magic creator that Canva has, it will actually get the images and everything and put that together for you. So it's a place to start.
Next question. Tell us some of the use cases or specific examples you have to use. Like, you're using it with your team. Tell us how you're using AI with your team.
It's nothing about bring the case.
As I have a fairly large team. We have 38 agents across the state of Texas. One of the biggest things that I've got any team owners in here. Yeah. Working with agents is really hard, right? We all know that. And we're all agents, so we know working with us is really hard. A lot of high Ds in the room. People who don't like to fill out forms, report on appointments, give us listing information after the appointments, etc. And so something that we are doing inside of my team is after every listing appointment, after every day of work, our agents have the ability to call in and have a conversation with an AI and download their day. Instead of filling out a form, writing down notes, putting it into the CRM, they can call us, they can call the AI, have a conversation, tell it how the listing appointment went, tell it about the day, how many appointments did you go on, what were those appointments about, etc. And the AI will take that data, it will structure it and put it into our reports so that we can bubble it up and we can have really good information on it.
So Bobby, like you said, you're a closet coder, right?
I'm a closet coder.
For all of us who are not closet coders, like myself, how do we get access to something like that?
I mean, you can go, if you're not a closet coder, how do you get access? Like, I don't email me?
Email's right over there.
There's a number of different parameters out there that you voice AI, it sounds like. You've got to be very careful. You saw compliance disclaimers earlier on both TCPA and on the artificial intelligence. One of the things to think about when you're doing voice is that AI isn't doing voice and text. Is to remember that it is legal under TCPA for an automated voice to outbound call without permission. So if you're going to use voice, it has to be with people who aren't taking permission to be able to use that. So they're your team, your database, so just make sure that you're compliant in those ways. But obviously, AI is an integrated into that. AI. There's a number of other programs out there that are doing voice type programming. So I understand a few. What are some of the other tools that we haven't mentioned, or even ones we have that the audience might want to know about? Because there's a plethora of cool tools out there. What are some of the tools that we haven't mentioned?
So there's actually a website, and it's called There's an AI for That. And you can go in and just type in whatever you want AI for, and it will actually give you all of the tools. And I would just say be careful with a lot of them, like Matt was saying about the TCPA. And to add on to that, in your command websites, you know the new feature on the new websites where you add a slash open house. On that page, in the very bottom, there's a disclaimer that says they agree to automated or artificial intelligence calls or anything like that. So you've already grabbed their permission from there. So from open houses or however you desire to use that page, you can get creative, which is one of the things that I just implore you to do with AI, just get creative with it. You can actually ask them there and get their permission to utilize it.
Yeah, it's very important to make sure that you have permission to communicate with anybody. It doesn't matter if you're cold calling out of a tool or whatever you do. You need permission, period. I would not think of AI as something that can do that. I would think of AI as how can this empower me in my business to create leverage for myself so I can do more deals. Watch out, there's a lot of tools out there that are going to try to sell you on the easy button to grow your business. This is not what this is for. This is the AI-powered agent, right? This is empowering you to grow your business and provide you the leverage that you need to do more deals and create more contacts. Those things contacts work. It's relationships, right? Allow this to amplify that and not replace it.
Yeah, so I look for tools, AI tools that are that I can leverage that will give me the time back on the things that are most time consuming for me. And that's in my one thing for video, that is video editing. And more specifically the repurposing of the content, because long form video is, takes enough time to edit and record and all that, but then to try to chop that all down. So I use tools for the video avatar and all these videos that we put together. I use HeyGen, I use Canva, CapCut, like you were talking about, and let's see, what's the one that I use to repurpose is called OpusClip.pro. There's a few other ones out there, and what's great is it will take my long form content. I can give it a time range, whether it's for shorts, reels, whatever, right? And it will give me about 20 different versions of that video with the text that bounces on the screen as the words are spoken. It gives me all my hashtags. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Another couple of firms I would into, if you're looking for AI voice, you might check out my logo. You've got AI voice and AI text. You're looking for editing videos from the transcript to being able to manipulate videos by the script. So you might look at Runway ML.
There's one, I can't remember the name of it. It keeps popping up in my Facebook feed all the time, but there's one where it will actually use AI. If you're looking off camera at your notes and script, it will actually use AI to put your eyes right on the camera. It's crazy, but it works awesome.
eScript is the one that does that.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
What other things have we not asked you that we should be asking? What would you like to tell the audience before we get into questions in just a few minutes? Which means that be thinking about your questions. In just a few minutes, I'll pop you, come line up here, and we'll ask the panelists questions. But in the meantime, what have we not asked you?
I love the development. This is probably the most impactful topic that you can learn from in the age that we're in real estate. This is going to change the way that real estate happens over the next 5 years. It's going to change everything, not only in our industry, but outside of our industry. We as real estate agents need to leverage this as much as possible so that we not only survive these coming years, but thrive, right? And so lean in. Don't be afraid of it. Lean in. Ask questions. Learn about it. If you need anything, email me. I am more than happy to help you with any questions that you have. My email's body@kennedy.com. This is going to change real estate as we know it. Just simple things, right?
Yep.
Sign calls. If somebody calls on my signs, right, they're going to talk to an AI that knows about the listing, knows the agent that's associated with the listing, and will connect them with that agent immediately. That's a simple thing to be able to do, and it makes it more personable for the person on the other side of the phone call. So it's going to change everything. Think about in your business what it could change, and then figure out how to do it.
I may or may not have just complained to Bobby that my agents aren't taking my sign calls. He did. May or may not.
He was very angry. But let's talk.
Does anybody in here do market stat updates, like monthly market stat updates? So here's the cool things where you take things like that you're doing. Maybe it's a graphic that you're putting on social media or something like that. Here's how you can use all these tools to take it to the next level. You can create a video avatar with HeyGen. You can use Canva to start putting video together. CapCut Canva will actually remove the background from your video avatar, and then you can use these tools to put this together to where now my market update every month is a virtual clone of me. It starts off as actually me in the video, but now it's me sitting at, say, a Keller Williams news desk or the Bishop Group of Keller Williams news desk. And on the screens behind me, just like a TV station set, is that graphic. And the video is the script that you gave, and here's how it starts. I take that graphic from Florida Association of Realtors, because I'm a Florida agent. They give us that every month. I upload that to ChatGPT Plus, ask it to analyze the data and write a YouTube video script for me based on that data. And I just put it all together, and it comes out with a really nice product that is much more high-end and engaging than a simple graphic.
Yeah, so that same thing, you can go to OPR, it already has that for you. and a variety of ways from that. My biggest advice to all of you, we are all on different levels. If you need to start somewhere, just start with ChatGPT and just talk to it and just get comfortable. Just instead of going to Google to ask something, go to ChatGPT and ask it and just see how you can utilize it. You can say, ChatGPT, I want to make a plan on how to utilize you, and it will build you that. I go in all the time and just say, I'm going to see if ChatGPT can do this, and so do my agents, and they love it. So definitely just start there. Don't think that it is so overwhelming. The one thing that I want to get across to you guys is that you want to be you want to be
You're good.
you want to be a tech-enabled agent, not an agent enabled with tech.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you're utilizing the tech, you don't get left behind. And all you have to do is just take tiny little steps by just using it, utilizing it, play with it, download the app onto your phone, and just ask it some simple questions. So the great thing about it is, sometimes you get so shy that you don't want to ask a question in front of everybody, or you don't know if you've asked it before or anything like that. I know that a lot of people get shy about it. Guess what? ChatGPT does not judge us at all. We can ask it as much times as we want. We can go back and look at our history and see what we've asked it. We can see what results we got, and we can cater it from there. And also another thing that you had actually mentioned this when we were talking before. The first thing that you put into ChatGPT is not as important as how you cater to it afterwards. So you can ask it a question and you can say, hey, can you shorten that? Or hey, can you make that a little more professional? Or can you make that longer? Or can you add this? Or edit this part? You can do all of that. So just make sure and really talk to it and just play.
I don't think you're all here if anybody you can learn how to make all the interested. Right? We're all here to do that. My brother-in-law, who's not the most techie guy, lives in Fredericksburg, Texas, sells software, not because he knows software, but because he's good at sales. His dad's a car salesman. I've been annoying him about AI since the first day it started. It came out launching heavily in December 2 years ago. Anyways, annoying him with it, saying this is how you can use this to sell more software. Well, he started to use it, started to listen to me, started to absorb some of this information. And last year, he was the #1 salesperson in all of North America for a company called Plan B. They had about 1,000 sales reps. And he just turned 30. So I'm like, he's not the most experienced salesman.
Full transparency.
I think we have a lot on this panel. There's more to come. If you have a question, why don't you line up at the microphone? It may take you about 30 seconds or more to get a few people over there. What questions do you have for the panelists that we didn't ask? Specific question you're trying to get answer about? We got some great questions. That's awesome.
Hello? Thank you for coming. I have trouble with spending so much time searching for properties with my buyers and my viewers, and I'm in Los Angeles. I don't know, my buyers are just, I'm always, I'm checking properties and having to meet, so I'll go to them. So their way to use it like that.
So, Peter that I mentioned, he's the brains in the bunch. I'm clearly the beauty. But that's what we're working on. We're actually working on a chat bot that is video avatar, and it basically it sets all that up. So you get your lead on the website, and it's qualifying the lead for characteristics of the house, bedrooms, bathrooms, all that stuff, and then setting up the property search for you.
In the MLS, like here?
No, so we're incorporating it into our agent website.
Those are coming. Like,
yeah.
They're about to be the rampant. You're going to see them everywhere.
Yeah.
And AI is about to permeate everything that we're doing. If you wait a month, I guarantee you that's going to be a dime dozen. They're going to be showing up.
Yeah. So where should I look for this updated?
So it's not out yet, but to let you know what you're asking, that's possible. And like Bobby said, there's going to be lots of options very soon.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I should have stayed in that chair, huh?
Oh, that's what you were doing.
So,
Awesome.
The ChatGPT that you want us to download is the one in command, correct? No, that's a separate tool. So if you just go into the after, and that's what Pat was saying, you just type in ChatGPT, you want to do the one by OpenAI, which is black and white. Okay. All right, and one more thing. We do a lot of calling, prospecting, circle prospecting. Is there a way AI can tell us in this neighborhood, these are the people who are going to be selling in the next 3 months?
There's a company over here called Fellow. They can absolutely help you with that. They will you can put people into their database and they will give you their seller scores. There's a lot of companies that do that right now to help you curate that list.
And as you heard yesterday, we end up developing your own as well. So it's all based on propensity scoring.
Yeah.
That will lead to likely to sell, likely to
RPR does it too.
Yeah.
RPR does it too, which you should have.
So isn't it awesome that we're going to have that in KW? I mean, that's something that we get. It's so cool.
Hey, I will do your first question is for Bobby. Can you share the resource that you use for the side calls?
I build that myself.
No. What advice do you have for those of us that want to do something like that?
Shoot me an email at Bobby@KW.com. I'm hoping to have someone out that we can scale to the rest of the organization.
Okay, my next question is for Brett. Let's say we're in front of our laptop, turning on the webcam, filming a video. Can you break down what we do exactly to take that video, that 5-minute video, and get 2-3 reels from it? Can you get into the nitty-gritty?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, so just in the if you want to come see me after, I'll get into more details and give you some resources. But really, in the simplest of terms, you're going to record that to the laptop, right? It's going to save to a file. And then you're going to use something like opusclip.pro, or there's other ones out there too, repurpose.io. There's a few of those, and you're just gonna upload that file to that service, and it's just going to spit out all those different reels, shorts. Typically, it's about 20. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Appreciate it, guys.
From Pensacola. From my center and my question is, my area, my demographic of agents and my demographic of clients are typically older, very useful literacy. What would you say are the best ways to combat their negative thoughts, negative suspicions about AI? To kind of get on board for future-proofing their business. I mean, they seem to be scared by AI, that intimidation of the robot.
Are we talking agents or the audience? Like the customers?
I would say agents are probably the priority, and if the agents do a well enough job,
Right, it comes organically, right? Jannel, you're awesome at that stuff. Do you have an answer for it?
I would say the one thing that you want to tell them is this is the way that it's going, regardless if you can control it or not. So would you rather be informed about it, or would you rather not know what's going on? The more that you're informed about it, the more that you can control it. And then also, we can utilize it to make us better. And I think that's where everyone was scared of social media before, and look at it now. You know, AI makes the way we're going, just hopping on board and
It's the same struggle that agents had moving from the MLS of the book to being on there. And there was a lot of push against it. We got to move into this age of AI because it's coming, and if you're going to survive as real estate agents, you have to adopt it. You have to be informed, and you have to get used to it.
Oh, sorry, Matt.
I was just going to say, I think too, we often want to go straight to the crazy and say, look at how much we do. And instead, like what Mel Robbins did today in Marissa, she started with something small and then she built into something bigger. So what's the first step is, let's just get on this platform and ask a question like a search engine and see what comes out. And then let's try to rerun something. And then we keep getting much bigger things, but let's not try to conquer this AI and make the next Terminator. And just start with how do we
search information better.
Really, it's looking at what the big problems that they have in the business. What problem do you have in your business? And then showing them how AI can solve that.
So,
What's the first step to get their toes in the water?
It's the problem.
So I sat in the audience for this session on Monday, right? And I think my biggest takeaway from that, and this is something that's really powerful for agents, their customers are already using it. And if they're going to be clueless when their customers talk to them about it, then that's a huge issue, right? It's like going on a listing appointment and you haven't done your comps, gotten all the comps for the area, and they bring up a house that you don't know anything about. It's embarrassing and you don't look like a professional. So just understand that these AI tools are there to help you, and you better get on board because your customers already are. And guess what? It doesn't matter how old they are. They're already using it.
Okay. We've got a few more minutes, so give us your questions succinctly, and we'll try to get through everybody's questions.
Yeah, I think mine is probably quite simply. I mean, you guys rattled off so many different platforms and things like I couldn't even get them all down. There's one, which is great, but also are these all paid? Or is this all of a sudden we have to have this huge budget to use Kafka and all of these different things, or are a lot of them free? Yeah, great question. I think that a lot of the things that we can do today is with ChatGPT Plus. I mean, a majority of the things you're going to want to do is with ChatGPT. When you start to get the video, the voice, and all the things, there's going to be subscriptions for every one of those.
Yep.
And unfortunately, there's no bundle. But I would tell you that 95%, maybe more, of the things that you're going to want to do on a daily basis as an agent, or a team owner, or whatever that is with ChatGPT. So I would encourage you to go there first and pay for that one. And you'll determine if you need more after that.
And you will be surprised how cheap AI is. You can go on with this big number, but it's a lot cheaper than you expect.
And RTR is free.
Yeah.
I sound like an advocate for this. I promise it.
You sure about that?
So I do commercial real estate, and there's a ton of tenant information out there, like on Google, and I've got ChatGPT Plus, and I've tried stuff like create a comprehensive list of primary care physicians in Chandler, Arizona. Right, and it can't do that, so I'd say create 20. It can't do it. It does 10, and then I can put that into an Excel spreadsheet that I can put on Railmax really easily. But I can't then get it to do the next 10, and the next 10. So how can I utilize that to bring more comprehensive?
I actually had that same issue. So what I did was I put it in there, and then I copied the answer, and I say, and then you'll continue this. Or you can say, I want a result of this many. No support.
Okay, so just to use that and say, add 10 more.
Yeah, and that's a simple way not to get caught up in it. It's just like it's right there. Sometimes it will just say, I want the results of this much at a time. And then that way it's just executing it all at once. But you can just copy and say, continue this with the same formula as do it.
Okay.
Quite often, ChatGPT is a stubborn 2-year-old, and you have to keep asking it for what you asked for the first time, right?
By the way, did you figure out how to make Dolly and how to misspell stuff?
Come see me after.
Pursuing the question 2 times ago about the different kinds of AI we can use. Is there one of you who leave a contact to get a list of you guys who know some of the things out there, different types of AI and what they would be best used for?
Send me an email and I'll send you when I started. What's that, 20?
So my question is, so on the productive AI, I wanted to know where can I find this function on my mobile app? Because I thought my next Yeah, no. So if you sign up through command, they will send you an email that will give you the app to download and the instructions for everything. It is so easy with that right
It's the app's productive.ai, and it will send the notes to command, which will then show up on their phone. They'll show it.
Okay, perfect. And also, go make sure you do go through command because we get the discount. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So I really like Loft. Is there a cheaper version, like an AI assistant where they can communicate with a lead while I'm at a conference, still pre-qualify the lead and setting an appointment for.
Did you say Lofty?
Yes, they have a exhibit here.
I think web mobile is probably the one that is most common and the one that's most DCBA friendly. I think that's why I'm voicing my text. So there's different scenarios for that too. So I encourage you to just kind of do some homework and reach out, or come get me after. I'll tell you more about that.
There's a lot of those coming out too. We're working inside of our team. We have these that are a service while we're out and about and can have conversations about it.
And this goes back to that Zapier as well. You can build your own chatbot. So you could build it yourself, where you integrate the AI where lead comes in, Zapier fires a response based on your requested information from the AI. So there's different ways to build it yourself.
And you can do that in command.
In Zapier.
Zapier.
You want to integrate it, right?
Right.
Right. It's currently not available.
No.
So maybe afterwards, I'll have some thoughts on my list.
Hi, thank you. I have a question for you. I was planning on spending 4 hours this evening recapping all of my notes and all of the photos that I took. And after listening to you guys, I was thinking, ChatGPT do that. Although when I asked them, they said they could not do the photos with the notes. So do you have any suggestions?
They could not do the photos with the notes.
Right, they can't.
Oh, it can't parse it all together into one.
Right.
It's got the notes, photos, notes,
Yes.
photos. Oh, it's not going to recreate the photos for you and put it in there. It will turn it into text. It is a text-based AI. It will, if you ask it to, it will create new photos for you, but those aren't going to be helpful. It will take the words out of the photos and put it into the.
Oh, and how do you upload the photos to ChatGPT?
With ChatGPT Plus, you can upload all the photos, all your notes, all the pictures of everything you have, and it will take them all out and it will organize it for you.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
While we're answering questions, if you wouldn't mind filling out our survey, you know? Can't see it? Yeah. Scoot over, guys. Scoot over. Hi, there you go. That's better.
I'll sit here with Bobby.
Thanks, it's been great. The question is, do you have any great hacks for email with AI? Like the volume of email I'll get is staggering at times. So anything like that, or commercially available AI email apps. I've seen a couple other brokers that work with, colleagues in the city who have Superhuman. It's one.
I've used Superhuman. It's not the same. It's not what we're talking about. I know that Google just released, and I know Microsoft did too.
Yep.
Google released a Gemini connection to Gmail and everything, which is going to help you to respond. It's not going to respond on your behalf.
And that's labdecidable.com.
And you can do the same thing with Zapier. I hate to sound like a broken record with Zapier, but you can connect Zapier to your Gmail and have them craft drafts for you, and then you can send later after you review.
Don't have it sitting on that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Thank
Hi, Amy.
I know that you have a community to help people looking to learn more about that. How do they get connected to you?
Thank you, Amy. Yeah, so if you want to come see me and I'll give you a picture of what it looks like. I actually met this amazing agent over here, Holly, the other day, who's in our group. But yeah, we have a Facebook group called ChatGPT and AI Tools for Real Estate Agents and Professionals. I know it's very long, but hey, what do you know about SEO? It works great. So come in there. We do free trainings every week. It's a great resource.
So we got 1 minute left, so real quick, 2 questions.
So I have a new setup with trying to find
Too tall. There you go.
So I've been trying to find like a mass export list of prospects, and I use a website called LexisNexis search. And so I'm trying to farm one specific commercial area, and I have to just like copy paste the address, Google search, and then find the contact information. Is there a site that might be able to hit code and automatically pull contact information from a third-party site, put it on an Excel spreadsheet or anything like that?
That's probably something you have to do custom. I'm sure they're out there. I have not. That's not something that we've done.
Hey, for large full records, LexisNexis is like 1 week time limits.
PropStream. This is not about AI, but PropStream will do that.
Or you could build your own ChatGPT. Ask for it. Well, you get so now if everybody's not aware, you can actually build ChatGPTs for yourself to meet a need, whatever that is, and you can program it. And I'll tell you what, going through that process really helps you learn prompt engineering too. It's fantastic.
All right, last question, real quick. Last question.
I had a quick question in terms of using ChatGPT. How do you integrate that with analytics and create like social media content? You guys talk about using video content. How does that?
Canva actually has a GPT, and so if you go to the GPT store in ChatGPT, Canva has an app in there, so that it's fully integrated into ChatGPT.
Also, Canva has Magic AI in there as well. So there's, if you just go Canva Magic AI, it will take you right to the page where it describes all of its tools. So yeah, both are really good ways, and they both do different things. So I would say one, the ChatGPT bot, and then also Canva AI. Video content, yeah.
Yes.
Magic AI will create text to video and will also piece different videos together for you as well. So type that this up.
Yep.
Thank you all so much for coming. Again, please go out and check out if you haven't already. Appreciate you all.
Runs on our emails. Maybe like a list of tools that we talked about today.
How do I get it?
Yeah, me too. I tried looking for it and it was...
Hold on, I got cards here. Give me just a second.
How are you?
What did you?
Good.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, so you're looking for, I know it's really hard to see because it's so small, but you're looking for that blue graphic right there. It's ChatGPT and AI tools for real estate agents and professionals.
Thank you.
Yep.
You want to do it? I know you
I would love one too.
are in demand.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This one.
Thank you.
So they're ChatGPT for real estate agents and professionals?
Yep.
Maybe.
ChatGPT for real estate and alternative, of course.
It's a Facebook group. Yep. Got it?
Next you get the
Thank you, sir. Oh, thanks.
I need a card, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah, here, I probably have more.
Or I can my email address.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me grab my backpack and I've got more.